Hey, sports card fans, it's John Wade Boggs fan. Hope you're all doing well. I like to think of my two 100 card lists, the one for $10,000 and the one for $100,000, as mini puzzles. And those mini puzzles contain puzzle pieces. And each card that I pick up is one more puzzle piece that fits into that mini puzzle. And then when that mini puzzle is done, there'll be another one and another one and another one. And when you put all those mini puzzle pieces together, it'll create one large puzzle that is my ultimate collecting goal for vintage baseball cards, which is having a card of every Hall of Famer from the 1948 Bowman set to the 1980 Topps set. It's a large undertaking, one that I may not ever complete, but it is a goal of mine to hopefully someday do. So this one card that I have today, which is card number 51 off of my current 100 cards for $10,000 list, is one more puzzle piece to the mini puzzle of my large puzzle that I'm working on. And within these mini puzzles, each piece or card gets me one step closer to that player's playing day run. And it also gets me one step closer to having all the Hall of Famers of a particular year. So I'm going to turn the camera around, show off the latest pickup off of my 100 cards for $10,000 list. It's a card that is the 18th card of a Hall of Famer I have of this particular set. And while I'm a ways away, a long ways away from completing this player's playing days run, it gets me again one small step closer. I won't be able to complete this player's playing day run in this current mini puzzle of my 100 cards for $10,000 list. It may take a 100 cards for $100,000 list for a couple of his cards to be included, given the price of them. But again, I'm enjoying these little mini puzzles, working slowly, one puzzle piece at a time to complete everything. So again, going to turn the camera around, show off my latest pickup and the other cards I have of this player. So let's go check out some cards. Okay, let's get right to it. Card number 51 is the 1973 Topps Roberto Clemente. This is one that I've been searching for to try to find the right copy, the right centering, both front and back. With 73s, I'm very particular about the centering on the backs. In fact, this is probably the only year that I get really excited about getting a card that's well centered on the back. The design of the back and the color scheme, if it's really off center, it just bothers me. So this is the year 73 Topps that I concentrate almost as much on the back centering as I do the front. And this one had a nice combination of both. Nice clean picture there overall. Very happy with the eye appeal and look of the card. This is, of course, his last Topps card. And what's nice about this card is that on the back, it has his full career statistics. So you can see there, finished with 3,000 hits, 440 doubles, 166 triples. 166 triples in his career, 240 homers, 1,305 RBIs, and a career batting average of 317. But check out the centering on the back of this. I think it's better than the front. And again, there's something about the 73s that they're really hard to find centered, well centered on the back. And the back of this card pretty much sold me that I wanted to go after this card. I believe it was in auction. I don't think it was a buy it. It may have been a buy it now. But once I saw it, considered the price, and I thought it was a good deal. Finally was able to pick up the 73. really happy with that. So again, it adds just one more Roberto Clemente card to my small but slowly growing collection of Roberto Clemente cards. So now that you've had a chance to actually look at how nice the card is, I've hidden the grade here because that's not important to me, only to the extent of how much this card would cost me and whether it was in my current budget to be able to pick up. And for those of you who are interested, it came, or not came, it was a PSA 6 copy. So before I get to the numbers behind this particular pickup and the 51 cards now that I have off of this list, I'm starting the second half of the list. We'll see how long it takes me to complete it. There are a lot of cards remaining that are in the 100+ range. I've knocked out most of the ones that would cost me under $100, so maybe slow going, but still it's a marathon, not a sprint. But before I get to the numbers here, let me show off the other Roberto Clemente cards. I know I've shown them off in other videos. I only have 4 others, but I have a little bit of a small run going, so we'll set this one off to the side here. The oldest one I have is his 62 Topps. Love the eye appeal on that one. Beautiful card. And there is the back. Bob's lucky number is 3. There's his 62. Then it jumps all the way to his 67, which I believe is the first graded Roberto Clemente card that I had in my collection, added to my collection. Love the centering on that. And here is the back, really nice as well. So I have his 67, missing his 68, but have his 69. Another card that looks great. There is the back. Check how bright that back is. Sometimes you get ones that are faded, but that is a nice sort of bright, I guess, orangey, peachish color on the back of 69s. So I went from 67 to 69. Then I'm missing his 70 and 71. I really want to get his 71. That is one of the cards, actually his 68. I think maybe even his 60, let's see, his 63, 64, 65, 66, 68, 70, and 71. All those cards are in this current 100 cards for $10,000 list. So again, once I complete this list, I'm going to have a pretty decent run of Roberto Clemente cards. Once you start getting back, actually the 62 was his oldest. I think once you started getting into 61 and going further back, obviously they get more and more expensive, and there just wasn't enough room on the list, this current list, that I just couldn't fit any more in. But the last one I have is his 72. Love this one as well. You don't see too many images of players just tossing a ball for the image on their baseball card. Love the color scheme as well on this 72 Topps design. And there is the back. All right, let's get back to, so that's my last Roberto Clemente card. So let's get back to the 73 here that I picked up. Now, getting into the numbers, which I do at the end of all of these videos for those who may be interested in following my progress along on this little 100 card project. I had actually this card on my list in a PSA 6. Again, I wasn't sold on having to buy a PSA 6. It's again for budget purposes. I knew to fit in this list, to fit my budget, PSA 7s would be too much. So it's a 6 or 5 or a 4. Anywhere there, if I could find a card that just spoke to me, that had the right eye appeal. And in cases in the past, I've gotten a card in a lower number grade and it saved me some money, and I still love the card. But it just so happens that I had this on my list in a PSA 6, and I thought I would have to spend $100 to pick up a PSA 6 copy, again in that general range for the number grade. Well, what I spent, now the amount I spent, it includes shipping and tax. The amount I had on my list was just what the cards were generally selling for at the time I put the list together, and so that did not include shipping and tax. So all in on this one, I spent $110. So I actually went $10 over what I thought I would have to pay, but then that $10, it's not all tax and shipping, but it's a good portion of that $10 that I went over budget. So in my mind, I got it for what I sort of thought I would need to pay. I think the card itself may have been $99. I don't know. I can't quite remember, but all in, I was in for roughly $110. So how did I do for this copy? Well, PSA 6s on the low end are going for $50. The average is around $75, so I'm above the average price that people have paid for a 6. The highest recent price paid for a PSA 6 is $125. So I didn't pay the highest recent amount for a PSA 6, but with these 73s, if you've owned any 73s or look for 73s, you know that there are a lot that are off center, left to right, top to bottom, left and bottom, and just they're all over the place. So this one is, again, it's pretty nice, suits my eye appeal perfectly. Just love the look of this card, and especially the back. Again, this was the selling point for me. Just love the look of the back of the card, and a lot of them I looked at may have had slightly better centering on the front, but the back was way off left to right. There was one that I really liked the front of, and the back, you could barely see the black. It was that far left to right, you could barely see the black on the right hand side. I just couldn't pull the trigger. It didn't meet my overall eye appeal, and this one did. Very happy to have another Roberto Clemente in my collection. So I went over this card in particular. Now for the 51 cards now that I have off this list, I thought, based on the number grade and the price for the card in that number grade, that I would have to spend for the 51 cards was $4,745. But what I've spent on the 51 cards is only $2,685. So I'm $2,060 to the good, I guess you could say. I haven't really saved that amount of money. That's more like girl math, because I haven't been sitting on $10,000 to spend, and I can say, well, I saved $2,000 I could spend on something else. But I don't know. I'm under what I thought I would have to pay for these 51 cards, so I think I'm doing a great job here. Would love to know in the comments, what do you think about my latest pickup here, the 1973 Topps Roberto Clemente. And with that, that's all I have for you. So until next time, thanks for watching.